All right, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this slightly more complicated isometric pictorial. In this one, the grid is a little bit more difficult to see, but we're going to do the same thing and write down our height, our width, and our depth. So our height here, we're going to say is 3 units. Our overall width here, we're going to say is 3 units plus this unit, that's 4. And then our overall depth, or our distance from front to back, is going to be 1, 2, 3 units as well. All right, so before we get started here, we want to think about how we're going to break down the shape into some manageable steps. And what I want to point out first is I always like starting off with the front view. So when I'm drawing something like this, I want to look at this part of my object that has the most information. So I'm going to start off by drawing this object. And I think that I'm going to start off by adding these depth lines back first. And then we can get into drawing this little cube here. So before I move too much further, let's start off with this face that's highlighted in green. So we know that I'm going to be drawing 3 units up and 2 units over, another 2 units up, 1 unit over, 1 unit up, and then we're going to connect it. Now, like I said before, this is when we can identify each corner of our piece and go 3 units back, 3 back, 3 back, 3 back, and then this only goes 1 back because I can't go all the way through, otherwise it's going to interfere with this cube. So let's go ahead and draw that. So we have 3 units back, 3 back, 3 back, 3 back, and then finally my bottom goes just 1 back. Perfect. So at this point, what we can do is we can actually connect some of these back pieces so they're parallel with the ones I drew in front. And at this point, this is something that you have all done already, just like that. Now let's go ahead and address what's happening here with the cube. I know that from this point, or this point right here, I want to go 1 up, 1 over, 1 down, and 1 back to connect it all back together. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. 1 up, 1 over, 1 down, and then a 1 to connect it all back together. Now, following the exact same principles as I did before, I can go to each one of these corners and just draw 1 back. And again, just like you did in the other part, connect those all together. So 1 back, 1 back, 1 back, and then connect them all together. Now, if you notice here, we're missing 1 line, and that 1 line is this piece, which should go down 2 units. Let's try that one more time. 2 units. If you see here, I only have 1, 2 units to spare, just like that. Now we're going to switch it up just a little bit, and we're going to say that our light source is coming here from the front. So another way that you can show the differences in the light source is to actually do tonal shading on your isometric pictorials as well. So tonal shading is a little bit different than hatching because you are using 3 different tones. You're using a white, so the area that's being exposed to the light is going to be left entirely white. You're not doing anything with it. And then you're using consistent shading between, in this case, the top view and the right side view. So top view might be a mid-tone gray, whereas the right side view is going to be a darker shade of gray or almost black. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and do my tonal shading and show you what the end result looks like. So as you can see here, if my light source is coming from the front, my front is remaining white and unshaded. My right side view is black and my top view is dark gray. Now this is typically a bit more difficult to achieve with pen, which is why we usually stick to hatching. But if you are using pencil or marker, sometimes using this tonal shading route adds a nice realistic effect to your drawings and ends up making a more finished, finalized product look a bit more professional and presentable. Thank you so much for watching.